This is going to be incredible. So, we're first off, before I do that, Jasmine, can you bring up that slide real quick? Thank you very much. We're not doing recognition tonight. We never skip recognition, but for our guest speakers tonight, we're going to skip it. Okay. But I do want to throw out a couple quick recognitions. This person got their district leader promotion. You can go ahead and put it up there. Brenda Medina, she's such an amazing person. She came in, every time she comes in the office, she's got this bright smile. She's like super tall. Okay, everyone's tall compared to me, but she's always happy and energized. And Drusilla is an amazing leader, great RVP ringer. And she trained her, so she gets her district promotion. Give Brenda a huge round of applause for that. We're so proud of you, Brenda, coming in and playing like a veteran, playing like an all-pro. So, and then the next promotion, Drusilla, because Brenda got promoted. Hey, this is the great thing about Primerica, right? Her upline, Lupita, goes division leader. And Lupita has got an amazing story, and I can't wait for her to tell her story. But, she used to clean houses. She used to do all these different odd jobs and everything, and she's got kids, and she's a tiger. She's a fighter, and she doesn't give up. She does not quit, and she got her division leader promotion. So, Lupita, we're so proud of you. Drusilla, your team is on fire. Let's go kick some ass. So, great job. Give them all a big round of applause right there, okay? Now, the reason why everyone is here, hey, we got a special guest speaker, and I'm going to tell this quick story, just the craziest story of how Derrick and I met. Okay, Derrick, Shacora, and Nuvia and I met. So it was about a year and a half ago in the middle of the pandemic, and we met this young couple that had moved to Arizona from Oklahoma, and they knew me, and I didn't know them, but they asked me for some advice, and can you mentor us, and blah 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 blah. I said, sure, of course I can, and so we'd go out to lunch a couple of times, and they were on this like accountability call, Zoom calls with a couple of different RVPs around the country, and they go, Mark, you need to meet these 3 cats from Louisiana, and their names are Derrick, Donald, and Maurice. And I said, oh, okay. I mean, people tell me that all the time. You got to meet this person. Sure, why not? I love meeting people, right? And they go, no, you don't understand. They're killing it, man. They're all 3 are doing $100,000 base shop, and they're just blowing things up, and they're just doing great things. And I said, okay, great. I still want to meet him, right? And so it kind of ended at that. And then, so about a week later, I'm talking to one of my RVPs down in Arkansas, and his name is Goodlow, Mark Goodlow. And I said, Goodlow, I need you to send me, who are your RVPs in your hierarchy? Because they're networked, and so I couldn't see them on my POL. And he sends me a list of names, and he goes, yeah, and we got these 3 RVPs down in Monroe, Louisiana. And my first reaction is like, where the hell is Monroe, right? Okay, who the heck knows where Monroe is, right? And so I looked on the Google Maps, right? I'm like, oh, Monroe, it's like right there. And he goes, yeah, we got 3 RVPs down there. I said, awesome. And he goes, yeah, and they're killing it. I said, okay, what's their names? And they go, it's Derrick, Donald, and Maurice. And I said, those names seem familiar. And I said, okay, cool. Thanks, Mark. Appreciate it. Hung up. Called back the other young couple. And I said, hey, what are those 3 RVPs names again? And they go, Derrick, Donald, and Maurice. And I said, Messiah, Adam, you won't freaking believe what just happened. And they go, what? I go, those 3 people are in my hierarchy, and I didn't even know it. And they're like, what? I go, yeah. I said, I know them. I mean, I don't know them, but they're in my business. And they're like, you got to be kidding me. I said, yeah. I said, how much do they make? And they go, well, Derrick at that time was making $300,000 a year. Donald was making 300, and Maurice was making 100. And I said, you're saying that I just inherited 7 diamond earners that I didn't even know existed a day before this? And they're like, yeah. And I said, holy crap, what a business. What an unbelievable business. And I remember Shane Rudman telling me, he goes, Mark, if you get big enough, this is when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. He goes, if you get big enough, eventually there's going to be a time where you promote an RVP and you don't even know their name. And I said, in my mind, I was kind of laughing at Shane, like, yeah, right, that'll never happen, and it happens, man. So I'm telling you, God has his hand on Primerica. God has his hand on the Dog Pound Empire. He's got his hands on Monroe, Louisiana. And I'm telling you, we're fixing to do something spectacular. And we are so blessed and honored. And by the way, just to finish that story, as soon as I found out those three are in our team, I called them up right away. They all three jumped on a Zoom. And it literally, that Zoom, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was like we were three brothers that we grew up together and hadn't seen each other in 10 years. I mean, the chemistry was instant. And I was like, these are the three brothers I never had growing up, man, right? I'm like, holy crap, these guys are badass. And so I flew down to Monroe like a month later, hung out with them for 3 or 4 days, whatever it was, and just had an incredible time. Their team is on fire. Their team are amazing people. They promoted 13 RVPs down in Monroe since they moved there. And so this is the leader, and they call themselves We Are Monroe, because Monroe's a tiny town. No one knows where it is, but we know now, right? And so I want to personally say, Derrick, Shacora, we are so honored that you're on this call tonight with us, with the Dog Pound Empire. Okay. But more than that, more than your numbers, and I tell them this every time I see them. I say, Derrick, I don't like you because of your numbers. Okay. I don't give a crap about the numbers. Okay. You're doing good numbers. Who cares? I care about you because you're an honorable man. And Shacora, you're an amazing woman. And your whole team down there are just phenomenal human beings. And those are the kind of people I align myself. I don't care about the numbers. Now, numbers being great, all the better. But you're listening. What I want to make it very clear, I will never bring someone who is not honorable to the Dog Pound name. I will never put you in front of people like, dishonorable people. And this person and his wife that you're going to hear from tonight are two of the most incredible human beings, the biggest hearts, the lovingest family, and they run their business down in Monroe like we run our business here in the Dog Pound. And so I want to welcome $400,000 earner, killing it down in Monroe, 13 RVPs in his hierarchy, the incredible Derrick and Shacora Simpson.
Oh, man. We're so fired up, Mark, man. Hey, it's a blessing to be on this call. Hey, man, look, Dog Pound, we love you guys, man. Y'all are family, right? Listen, my beautiful wife, Shacora here. We're fired up, man. You're going to get to hear from her. You're going to get to hear from me. But let me say this real quick, man. Mark, you are a phenomenal guy, man. We love you. God bless you, sir. And you are a real, he really believes and he really does his relationship, guys. Like, I'm sure you guys know that. But Monroe is on the call, man. I got my family on here, guys. And so we're all on here, man. It's good to have your whole hierarchy together, Mark, man. But here's the thing. I really love the fact, man, that you found out about what was going on, because this company is phenomenal, right? This is a beautiful company that you can have that big of a part of your business happening, right? And you don't even know about it. Man, I can't wait till that happens to me. Right? I can't wait to be that big, coach. Look, we know everybody right now, right? Cool. So I can't wait to find 6, 7 diamonds that I haven't met yet before, man. But I'm gonna do exactly what you did. Soon as you found out, man, you came down and you hung out with us and built that relationship and talked about it, man. And we haven't lost contact since. And man, so it's just a blessing to even be asked to be on this call. Hey, y'all, me and my wife lived in Litchfield Park too, right, for a long time. And so yeah, me and my wife lived in Litchfield Park, so we're very fond of Arizona, man. For some years, we got married when we were in Arizona, man, and so very excited about that. But let me introduce my beautiful wife, Shacora, before we get started, man. Kind of open up and let them know about you a little bit, and we'll get going.
Hey, y'all. Well, I am Shacora Simpson, and I mean, we have been in the business here for right at 11 years.
11 years, yeah.
I am a registered nurse. Well, let me clarify. I am a retired registered nurse. Yeah, I know I look like this, but yeah, young. I'm gonna say young. I'm not telling y'all how old I am. Retired, because of this amazing business. I am, of course, a wife and mother of 5. So we have children ranging from 23 to 10. Like we
No, baby. See their faces?
what?
No, y'all stop laughing because we got 5 kids. Y'all come babysit one of them. No, y'all over here laughing. No, I'm not having that, dog pound. Y'all not going to be judging us because we got 5 kids. Y'all can make babies out in Arizona too.
Yeah, my dad said that we needed to get a house in a room or something. Stop having all these babies. God did not intend for you to repopulate the earth on your own. So yeah, we've got 5, but yeah, that's me in a nutshell. I know we're gonna talk about our story a little more, but yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna dive into our story, you guys. We're gonna teach, but please have your pen and pad because we're there definitely come to give you content and help everybody, right? Anytime I coach or teach anything, I always tell my team I'm always coaching, even when I'm telling you my story, right? And our story, you know, we're gonna get you all the way up till current, right? Like right to the moment. We don't have a bunch of time, so we're gonna dive in. So I think I have sharing ability. Great. So let's go ahead and start this up. And so real quick, that's my mom. And I always do, when I tell my story, I always start off with her because this is the reason why I got into the company, you guys. My mom is from Memphis, Tennessee. She passed away. She had the wrong type of insurance. And I found out about it after she passed away. And so it really upset me. And one of the reasons why I joined the business, I still crusade today. But as Coach Mark told you guys, I was recruited because first of all, my mom passed away when we were in Arizona. So we lived in Litchfield Park. I used to be, before Primerica, I used to be over all the Disney stores, United States and Canada. And then I ended up being over, what was it, Dollar General, Zales and Dollar General, about 4 or 5 states when I lived in Arizona, right? And so so that's what I did. But when my mom passed, moved to Arkansas, which is Pine Bluff, and understand I was the right kind of person for Pine Bluff, not Pine Bluff, but for Primerica because I traveled 6 days a week. I was always going to one of these stores in and out of town. That's why we had babies kind of back to back, kind of like we did because we never saw each other, right? You know, I come home, I go to church, see my wife, and then I was off traveling somewhere, right? You know, that's just kind of where our life was for some time. And so, you know, my mom passed away unexpectedly and at 52 years young. And so we moved down to Pine Bluff, right? So everything changed. I wanted to go home. I'm from Memphis. Originally, my wife is from Pine Bluff, Arkansas.
I'm the Pine Bluff.
Yeah, so she got me. Of course, you see why I went to Pine Bluff, right? You see that smile, so I had to go to Pine Bluff. It was no contest, right? But I was recruited by the great Mark Goodlow and his wife Rosetta. Now, here's where the coaching starts, right? I saw a presentation because I really got tricked by a friend. But when I went into the meeting, I saw Mr. Goodlow, Miss Goodlow, and they taught me the whole KT presentation. They sat down and went through it with me, and I had not too long come from having my mom pass away, right? And I was working in a job in the store manager spot because when I got to Pine Bluff, there was no more corporate retail spots that I was in, right? So I was at one store and I was just wanted to go home, but I was really looking to make 6 figures again, have 2 have 2 vacations, that kind of stuff. So when I sat down with Mr. Goodlow, he showed me that he had made $19,000 that month on top of the presentation. And he told me the difference between the right and wrong type of life insurance, which I knew had happened to me 3 times because my mom passed away, then my cousin and another family member, and we had all paid on these funerals the same year, right? So it was a tough year for us during that time. So I saw this and immediately I said, man, I'm signing up. I was the person you gave one presentation to. I signed up right there on the spot, but my wife wasn't at the KT. And I went home because I was searching for something. You guys, anybody ever have a big job and make a lot of money and you do something different and your income gets lowered, right? You're kind of searching to get back to that spot. You know what I'm saying? You're pushing. So I was always searching, but guess what I wanted? I wanted more time. I wanted freedom. I wanted to be with my family. You know, I wanted to make a lot of money. I wanted a vacation. And guess what was presented to me at that KT? All of that, right? So I appreciate Mr. Goodluck for that. But over time, I still wasn't that successful. I went home and told my wife that I wanted to do Primerica, and that's what I was going to do the rest of my life. She was pregnant, and she was like, "No, you're not." Right? She cute. Oh, y'all can hear that, can you? Right? Let me turn that down. Right? So, but yeah, guys, I was like, man, look, you're going back to corporate. She told me you're going back to corporate, right? And I said, well, no, I'm doing this. This is what I want to do. So it wasn't the partnership wasn't there yet, but my son and my family, I kind of sold them a dream. So my son kind of believed in it, right? The one in the middle there, he's now 18 years old. He just got into the business. So I'm very excited about that part, right? He coming to work with us here. But, you know, this is my why. You know, I was doing this for our family and where we would be futuristically, right? So at the time, all of our kids were young, and I wanted to be in a place that when they got to high school, I wanted to be able to go to all the games and travel and have the freedom. So I was willing to pay the price at this point. But the problem was, me and my wife wasn't on the same accord, right? So we had a growing phase. And actually, y'all, that's Arizona sun right there. Me and my wife went hiking right there in Arizona. That's what mountain is that? South Mountain. If y'all know where that's at, that's where this picture was taken. So we was over there, man, and so we got married to Arizona, but we were getting better. And babe, right here, tell them about when I came home, and I told you I wanted to do this, and then you kind of saw Primerica, you didn't, you know, you heard it from me, but that was a mistake, guys. Anytime you're gonna have a husband or wife, the first presentation you need to be with both of them, right? And watch what happened in our business, right? We've been here for 11 years, but here's what hung us up. And I'm gonna let my wife tell you the story so you guys can understand her mindset at the time.
Absolutely. So like he said, he first was introduced to the business by himself. Mistake number one, if you're taking notes, never do one-legged appointments if you're talking to a couple, or if that person is married, just stop it right there. Just stop it. Just say, hey, let's get this spouse on board, you know, because I didn't hear what he heard. So he came home super excited. And look, y'all, I'm pregnant at this time with our 5th child. And so he's so excited. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? You've been gone from the house for a while, but here with all these kids and I'm pregnant. So what's going on? He was like, I know what I want to do with the rest of my life. And I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't that like a 5-year-old says or something? You know, I want to be a fireman, you know, but he came home and he was like, I know what I want to do with the rest of my life. And I was like, okay. And then he started telling me bits and pieces about Primerica. And I'm like, what in the heck is this? Now, granted, Derrick, this is not the first time he's been excited about a business venture. So this was not my first rodeo. So I'm like, okay. Then y'all, wait, I'm trying to get myself together because he said put y'all back in my headspace. And this man told his pregnant wife, pregnant with the 5th child, that he was quitting his job and about to do this business. Now he has done businesses in stock. Now he's about to quit this secure job and he's about to do Primerica. What the heck? When I tell y'all I despise Primerica for years, based off that one night of him saying, I know what I want to do with the rest of my life. I'm like, this man has now put our whole future in jeopardy. Everything on the line now. We're about to be homeless because I know him and he's going to get bored and he's going to quit. But y'all, when I tell you, he was persistent. So he was going to meetings and he was going to fast start schools. And he was, away from the house. And each time he was doing these things, I was getting angrier and angrier. I'm like, okay, so you just gonna leave in the middle of the night? You just will not, for me, I'm extra at this point. Everything is big.
Yeah, 3 phases. Remember that?
Oh yeah, definitely. So in this phase, this is my I'm gonna call it my anchor phase. Because like I said, I put 100 on 10. So like I said, he was leaving in the middle of the night. Y'all was about 6 o'clock, but in my mind, I blew everything up. So when you're going to fast start schools and you're paying for these hotels, you're taking money out of the household. We are going to be destitute. I don't know how we're going to eat. How are we going to feed these children now that you are going to this fast start school? So I am an anchor. I am weighing him down. I am dragging this boat, trying to drag it backwards, and we are definitely not going to let it keep moving forward. So I call that my anchor phase. So I went through that phase, y'all, for the whole time we were in Arkansas. We ended up moving to Louisiana. I was able to get around some other partnerships and see some things, and I was like, oh, okay, so these women have been supported from the beginning. They don't sound like me at all. because I never liked Primerica, and so I was like, okay, well, maybe I should kind of chill out a little bit. So I call this, I'm getting on the boat. So now my phases, my anchor phase,
Hey,
my getting on the boat,
Shacora.
and then
Hey,
there's a
Shacora.
rowing phase later on. But
Hey, Shacora, hold
Oh.
on one second. Real quick,
I see
just a
Mark trying to
quick
say something.
announcement. Yeah,
Mark.
we hit the max of 100, but I wanted everyone to know, text your people because we opened it up. And so yeah, so we're gonna have, and so text your people that have been trying to get in, because Shacora, so many people are trying to get in, they hit the max, and we want everyone to hear your story. So go ahead, keep going. All right. So now everyone's rolling in.
1 second, Mark.
All right.
Recording in progress.
Let me okay. Mark, can you hear us?
Perfect. Oh yeah, we can hear you. You guys are on par. Can you hear us, Derrick? Oh, can you guys hear us?
Yep.
Yes,
You guys can?
Yes.
I can hear.
Yes, sir. Can
We
y'all
got you,
hear?
Mark.
Okay, can you
All right,
guys
we're
hear
back,
Derrick
Mark.
and Shacora? Okay, all right, good. All right, go for it. You guys are on a roll. So you're doing a phenomenal
Okay.
job, man.
what was the last thing you heard?
We
The
heard
last
everything.
thing I heard was about getting on a boat.
You got on the
Getting on
bus.
the boat phase.
Yeah.
You got on the bus. So yeah, I got on the boat.
Unmute yourself, Derrick.
Okay, so I'm on the boat. Just a second, we're having a couple of technical issues. Okay, I think we got it. Okay, so I am on the boat, and now I'm no longer giving him guilt trips about going to meetings and doing appointments and everything. I'm on the boat. I am not a nag at this point. And I mean, at least I feel like, look, you at least I'm better than I was. Baby steps, people. And when I say baby steps, I mean this probably like year 4. So like I was taking like teeny tiny steps. So as I'm continuing to be around these partners and I'm being exposed to the business more and more, we end up winning a trip. Now, Primerica was not real. The money wasn't real. And them taking me on a trip, absolutely not. Who does that? I mean, I couldn't even go to the Christmas parties when he was in corporate America. So, okay, I'm going on a trip, and so we end up doing the paperwork, of course, booking the flights and all of that. And I'm like, wait, is this they're going to ask us for some money because there's no way this company is paying for me and him, to go to the Bahamas. Okay. And so, but when we went, well, it wasn't until we got to the airport that I really was like, wait, this is real. Okay. And we were, you want to say something?
Well, I'm going to say this. So to help everybody else, so lead agents understand this, right? So during that time when my wife was going through those phases, I still was working, right? I did go home and I told her, I said, hey, babe, this company got this company trip. And I still made money. It wasn't the big money, right? It was consistent. So I was able to stay in business, right? But I kept getting results along the way. So she wasn't, every time a check came in, she wasn't frowning at that, but it's kind of like, this still not your career yet. Right. You just kind of on the boat, right? And so I had to go win this trip because I was winning the trip because I was trying to recruit my wife. I don't know if anybody in the partners out there like that. I was really trying to recruit. My number one recruit was my wife because I knew how smart she was. I knew how talented she was. And I said, man, when she gets on for real, we're going to explode, right? And so I was working real hard trying to recruit. And I said, okay, well, the only way she's going to see how big this is, because I haven't won a company trip, but I was like, man, when I win one, and she goes, there's no way she's not going to be on board, right? So this was my ticket. So I worked my butt off to win the trip to the Bahamas. And guess what, guys? There's another company trip happening right now. Emails just came out. We're going back to the Bahamas, aren't we? Right? There's another one right now called the Diplomat that's happening, right? We're going there. So if you're right now in a position, go win. See, everything changes when you win, right? And so now we go to Bahamas, see her face, we have this great trip, and baby, after that trip, what happened?
Well, during that trip, I got a letter from Glenn. Well, I thought I got a letter from Glenn. I didn't realize at that point that everybody gets. But I was like, Glenn was thanking me for my partnership. And when I tell y'all, I felt like this small because I knew who I was. I've never been one that lies about where I am. I don't care if it's mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm going to be honest with me. I'm going to look in the mirror and say, you know what, girl, you need to hit that roll right there. You need to decide something. You know, I am not going to gaslight myself. So I knew that I had not been supportive. I knew that I was not a good partner. I knew this. And so I was convicted. And when we got back, I was like, oh my God, you know, I want to be what he was congratulating me on being. You know, I actually wanted to be that good partner. And so I started getting around partnerships, listening, and just kind of understanding that all partnerships don't look alike, you know, because I was beating myself up for a while because I was like, oh my God, had I been this supportive partner from the beginning, we could have been so much further. He could have done, you know, XYZ so much faster, you know. So I was just completely not comfortable with where I was. And I was like, you know what? Just being on the boat is not good enough anymore. You know, it's time for me to pick up these oars and start rowing. Derrick has pulled up this post that I made in 2016. And this was like when it just kind of became actualized for me. I said, the moment that you realize that your husband has made up his mind to do everything in his power to make your dreams and desires come true, Derrick, your trust, faith, and belief in your God-given purpose is impressive to say the least. Your God said it and I believe it attitude is inspiring. I'm so grateful that I have you as my head and I'm honored to be your helpmeet. Hashtag nothing is impossible. Hashtag one accord. Is there another hashtag under there?
Submissive and cool with it.
Submissive and cool with it. Y'all, now that was huge for me because I am one of those like independent Black women. So to say that I was gonna be submissive and I was okay with it was a huge step for me, you know. And it wasn't just submissive to him, I'm gonna cook dinner, I'm gonna clean. No, I'm gonna also really embody that this is our business and I'm gonna follow your lead. So that's when, like I said, when I finally picked up the oars. But I'm gonna say at this point, I just picked them up. I'm not even gonna say I started rowing. I ended up kind of deciding, hey, Primerica is still your thing and I need my own thing. So I went to nursing school, became an RN, and that was great, you know, for a while. And I remember this one shift that I had before COVID. And it was a shift that I picked up because I got, you know, you get this little special incentive pay if you take on a shift. I was working 7 nights on, 7 nights off. So on my 8th night, the night I was supposed to be off, they said, hey, if you come in, we'll give you extra $20 an hour. You know, you'll get this time and a half. And I was like, oh yeah, that's some good money. You know, so I went ahead and went in. When I say y'all, that was the worst shift of my entire career, like the worst shift. And the reason why I took it was because of money. You know, I was like, I want to make this great money. And I was telling Derrick, oh, this is how much I'm going to make. And he was like, oh, that's a policy that takes you about an hour to do. Wait a minute, I worked 12 hours of straight hell. Like, and you can make this in an hour. What am I doing? So that was the one thing. I was like, okay, oh, here we go. But then when COVID hit, like, do you want to?
Yeah, before you get there,
yeah.
So let me help out because I'm coaching some stuff, right? Y'all taking notes. So y'all hear how this partnership is important, right? Because I'm going somewhere, we're going to help you. But right, while she was in nursing school, I had to show her, and man, this is for you guys, right? Partners, active agents, right? This is really for you. You got to step up because here's the thing. When she decided to go to nursing school, and I knew I didn't get the support I needed when I was going to RVP, I didn't beat her up about it, right? I wasn't nagging her at home. I wasn't fighting her about it. I didn't go back and do that. I just stayed focused because our relationship is great. Now I know it sounds rough right here, but we always had a great marriage. It always was great. We just disagreed on the method to get to the same place because she was trying to get there the traditional way, right? And I was trying to get there by building a business. We were going in the same direction. We just wasn't sure which role was the best one, right? And so that's all it was. And so I said, you know what? She needs to see what real support looks like, right? And so during this time, and you can tell them, or you want to tell them. Okay.
Y'all, when I say this man showed me what support looked like, which further convicted me. So he was working the business. And at one point you were even working a job, because of course nursing school takes time. And when I was in nursing school, I could not work and do family, and it was a lot, so I was a full-time student. So eventually he got to the place where he was just 100% full-time, and he was running the business, but not only was he doing that, he was also making sure that the kids got up for school, that he took them to school, and if he didn't cook dinner, he made sure dinner was available, because between me and studying and clinicals and all of this stuff, like I was 110% involved. Like I was no one's mother or wife during the time that I was in nursing school. He picked up all of that slack, and never made me feel bad about it, never made me feel guilty or anything like that. He was like, babe, just go focus, go study. I got it. He really showed me what it looks like when you got somebody 110% on your team behind you. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I should have been for him. This is what I had no idea really what support looked like. I mean, we just tossed the word around, but I didn't really know what that meant. I thought being supportive was when I was on the boat, because at least I wasn't complaining, at least I wasn't guilt tripping him. So that's support, right? Nah, it wasn't. So we went through that phase of me learning about what support looks like. And then, like I said, we moved to Monroe. Well, I didn't tell you guys that. We ended up moving to Monroe, and I was nursing up here when COVID started. And so during COVID, of course, I am terrified, of course, because COVID, it was a new thing, and we didn't know anything about it. We didn't know really how it was transmitted. We didn't know, we were just terrified, in the medical field, we were on the front line. So my fear every day was that my family, they were quarantined at home, and they were quarantining like nobody's business. Like barbecue, swimming outside, pool in the backyard, like when I say like living a life, and then here I am waking up exhausted, trying to go to work, terrified, just a whole horrible experience, and so I was like, man, they're living life. It take him one policy to make what I make in 2 shifts. What am I doing? I said that I was supportive. Why am I not 110%? And he started feeling it, I guess, from me. And he was like, babe, are you ready to come home? You mean like I don't have to deal with any of this? As an RN, I was making significant money. And he told me that my money was insignificant at this point. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It is insignificant. Okay. Well, you know what? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I absolutely, absolutely, I do. Absolutely, I want to swim in the pool with you guys and hang out and barbecue and all of that, And so it was absolutely an amazing experience to have that opportunity. But when that opportunity came, now I remember I was telling y'all on the boat, anchor on the boat. Now this is when I started growing. I realized that I had something to offer the business. And so my area was, hey, if I don't know how to do anything, I know how to study. I know how to pass tests, and so I was like, how can I help? So first things first, I'm one of those do it yourself first. So I went ahead and I got life license. And then like a month or two later, I got my SIE knocked out. And then about a month and a half after that, I had my 6. And then maybe another month after that, I had my 26. Like I was just running through these licenses because I was like, I know how to do this. You know, I know how to study. Now, am I saying that was an easy thing? No, because securities is a whole different language. But I decided that, you know what, not only can I do this, I can teach this. You know, I can help our team get licensed. And that I feel like was my contribution as far as like rowing. So yeah, so I went from anchor to on the boat to just give me my oar and let me do what I know how to do. So that's it. Okay, evidently I'm taking up too much time.
So
'Cause that's all I do.
now she running. No time. I'm not gonna teach y'all nothing tonight. You hear me? I did y'all, Mark, you should have invited Shacora on. Did y'all learn everything? Thank y'all for coming out. God bless. I don't want to hold y'all all night. Y'all have a good time. All right, it's good. Hey, it is. It's the biggest thing, man. I'm playing. But that's the story, right? So we went through that. Okay, so watch this, you guys. So I'm gonna do some teaching, right? Great job, man. All right, let's get it. All right, so look, you're not the person they see, right? So sometimes you're in a situation where it's like, hey, I feel like I'm better than where I am in a business, right? I know I'm not reflecting the income, I'm not reflecting my business, not reflecting where I know I'm going, right? The opportunity. And I never lost sight of that. I knew I was better than my current situation. See, momentum is something that's funny, right? Momentum makes you feel like when you don't have it, it makes you feel like you're worse than what you really are. Right. But when you have momentum, it actually makes you look better than what you really are a lot of times. Right. And so, you know, I understood that. And so when I was walking around, we was early on in my trying to recruit and build the business on the business side, that was in the house. Right. But this what was facing actually in the business. The guys that I went to church with are on the screen right now. During that time of my life, I went to church and I had I still go to church now, but I went to this particular church and all this stuff was going on where all these guys would call my brother. They were my friends, right? And a lot of these people would not give me an appointment. Anybody been somewhere that the closest people to you would not give you the time of day, right? Because you ain't made $1 million in that thing, right? And so none of them would give me an appointment. And it really hurt me, right? My pastor at the time wouldn't even give me an appointment, right? You know, not really, you know what I'm saying? So it was kind of tough, right? And so these guys didn't join the business, didn't really become my clients at all, you know, but then I got mad. And I said, I'm gonna talk to anybody that listen. So I still was gonna build a team. I'm a very determined person. If you realize hearing me and my wife's story, I'm still gonna go get what has to get done, right? So look, Arizona's so diverse. I wish I was up there because I would have a diverse team just like the screen is right here. But I was in the South. But guess what? Everybody that's on the screen allowed me to build teams with them, help them become successful. They end up being a great replacement league. A lot of my friends here, and they end up being a team that helped me get my jersey, me and my wife's jersey, right? So then I said to myself, Derrick, you know what? There's a song out said, "Go Get It" by Mary Mary. A lot of this saying is in here, but it meant so much to me during this time because you can't be mad at the things you've been through. That built your muscle. Guess what? During this time, I got better. Me and my wife's relationship got better, right? And guess what? In 2015, we won our jersey, right? And so that was great. So we won the jersey, and we knew we won a trip, and we won the future jersey. So now, guess what our belief level is? Our belief level is a lot higher now. My wife's belief level is a lot higher now, right? And so now we both know that, hey, we can actually win. And we was on the stage floor. That was the old Mercedes-Benz Dome. We was right here at this very picture. I looked up. I said, I saw all the people in the nosebleed. I said, baby, guess what? We beat all of them. We beat all of them. We could do this thing, right? It was so exciting, you know, so that was a big point. So then now it made us stronger. And the song says, now you're stronger than you ever been. You can't stop your hustle, right? So we can't stop at this point. So guess what? RVP was right around the corner, you guys. We knocked out RVP. And then this time happened, right? You know, and Shacora, jump in here real quick, shortly, because we got 10 minutes left, right? Look, I'm coaching.
No, this is when I met Miss Peggy. Miss Peggy, of course, $1 million earner. This is right when she crossed over. And she was on stage talking about, you know, how she was, you know, a nurse and everything. And I was like, oh, when afterwards, I was like, Miss Peggy, I'm a nurse. And she said, when are you going to be a former nurse? And I just like my smile went from to, you know, like I was like, oh my God, this business, I knew it was real, of course, at this point, but it was that big, you know, to the point to where I was questioning my whole career.
And it's so big, man. I thank Peggy Hightower for that moment because it put it in her mind and set the platform for what was coming up, right? For her to retire and then where we are now. Along the way of winning, man, you also got to have great mentors. That's why I love you, Mark, man, for real, because you send a text message out to everybody. You encourage our whole team all the time. Joe Ward ended up being my mentor, and so helped me out a lot, man, as we grow, right? And so, but here's some of the things that goes on. So it says, your faith ain't never small. Come on, somebody that got faith on this call, man, got to understand. Right now, your business don't look like the way you want it to be. Maybe you don't have the momentum, maybe you don't have the team, but you got faith, guys. I'm telling you, that's all you need. If you ain't fired up right now like I am, I know I had a faith enough. And the song said, your faith ain't never small. That's what brought you this far. You are where you are because you have faith right now, right? And if you grow that, man, you're going to go far, I'm telling you, right? So it says you got your dreams and you got your prayers and you got your God. He gonna take you there. I promise you it's gonna happen. But you, listen, if you ain't getting that from see, a lot of what we're teaching you, they have to be caught. You got to catch what we're saying, right? You got to feel this. You got to catch it. See, a lot of stuff that you're going through right now, right? You're praying for it, right? He gonna take you there. Your season coming, right? See, everybody has a season. And I believe this was yours. You got to believe it though, because you've been working. Have you been working? Have you been doing the income producing activity? Have you been scheduling appointments? Have you been calling the people? Have you been prospecting? Have you waited long enough? Are you waiting, right? Are you working while you're waiting, right? And then what's this? This is what you've been praying for. What you're praying for is coming. And then this happened. I can't see my Wham fam. Where y'all at? Come on, Wham. Y'all know what this is, don't you? Y'all know what it's at. See, Wham, see, y'all think it's Whataburger. Huh? Y'all think this is Whataburger. See, the chat finna go crazy right now. See, my team know what this is. See, what happened was, now that me and my wife got our act together, come on, somebody. Now that me and my wife got on one accord, now she's on board and she's rolling with me. I can work the way I know I can work. See, part of me couldn't work because part of my mind is like, what is she thinking? I have to get this sale. This not going, you know what I'm saying? But now that she's on board and she's totally supportive, I can make this phone call. I'm 2 hours away from home. I'm in Monroe, Louisiana. My 10 o'clock appointment canceled on me.
10 p.m.
10 p.m. that night. And I have an appointment scheduled for 12 o'clock midnight at Whataburger with Donald McNeil. See, this appointment right now, at that point, I had to make a call and say, hey, babe, I know I'm in Monroe, and I know I said I was coming home, but I have a 12 o'clock appointment, recruit appointment, no money coming from this, a recruit appointment at a fast food joint. She could say, boy, bring your butt home. I told her it was at midnight. She could have said, ain't nothing open but legs after midnight. Bring your butt home. But no, we got trust, we got faith, and she know I'm on my grind. Are you hungry enough? How many of y'all, for real, I'm looking at your faces. How many of y'all go to a Whataburger for a recruit appointment right now to go blow your life up? And you don't know it. See, that's the faith part. I'm gonna help y'all today. That's the faith part, right? See, so now I get in here and I talked to Donna McNeil, and Donna McNeil now he was dating a beautiful young lady named Brianna McNeil, becoming his wife, or Brianna Riggins became Miss McNeil, right? And so they are the youngest and fastest to SVP in the state of Louisiana. $400,000 earners right here in Louisiana, Monroe, small city. She just turned 30 like a couple days ago, right? They make $400,000. Guess what his first recruit was? Remember, Mark was on there talking about it was Derrick, Donna, and Maurice. Maurice was Don's first recruit, who ended up becoming a replacement leg, right? For him, right? So this picture right here was everything to me, because this is when it began. I drove back and forth to Monroe. We field trained. We got out there. You see us got our suits on. We took this picture, and this was special. Guys, we were walking to a McDonald's to get a bite to eat in between giving presentations all day at a school that Don set up. Maurice was there just to learn. He wasn't letting us go. He didn't have no appointment. He said, nope, I got to be in the building. Y'all going somewhere? I'm going, right? So he connected to us. He sought out the heat. Don said that he made the list. We all went. I was the coach. I knew what to do, right? It was the perfect formula right here. That relationship turned into this first team. This team turned into opening up an office. That office turned into We Are Monroe. And out of this We Are Monroe came 13 regional vice presidents. Oh, God's good. God's good, y'all. That's where we are right now. We have 13, including me and Shacora, RVPs and above. Maurice Nelson is soon to, he's already promoted his third RVP. He's about to be SVP this month coming up. I'm going to have 2 SVPs in our hierarchy right now, other RVPs. I promoted my 4th RVP just this past week. And so we're so excited, man, about everything that's going on. We're so excited, man. The environment's set. And that's our story, man. So I think I finished with on time, Mark. So if you got some questions or something, Mark, that's our story. I'm gonna stop to share. But listen, guys, it can happen for you. I promise you. If you hang in there, you get results. If you get your relationship right first, if you keep God first, if you go do the right things and keep working, man, you will win. You will win. It's just due season. But a lot of times we just ain't got there yet. We just haven't done what we need to do yet. Or we gave up because it got too hard, or we listened to naysayer. We listened to even our significant. Look, if I would listen to Shacora, I'll be somewhere working in corporate America right now, right? But listen, she knew I loved it. She knew I was just, you know what I'm saying? So you just got to get real sometimes and say, hey, look, this is what we got to do. I need your support, right? Or better yet, show what support really looks like and get the job done. So, Coach, it's an honor, man, to be on this call with you, to be part of your dog pound hierarchy, man, because we some dogs in Monroe. I'll tell you that right now. Hey, we going after everything. We're not stopping, Coach. It's about to get crazy in 2023. I'm telling you, from us, you're going to have a few MDEs come out of here in 2023, SNSD promotions, NSD promotions, more RVP promotions, more SVP promotions. 2023 is about to be huge. So get ready to go to the mill, Coach. I love you, man. Whatever you got.
Hey, man. Woo, man, Derrick, Shacora, what an incredible, damn, that was awesome. I just love hearing people's personal testimonies and what I really liked about it is, Shacora, I mean, obviously, Derrick, you're phenomenal, right? But Shacora, I like what you said. You said, I don't know why when I start talking, Luna starts barking. I don't know what the deal is. He didn't bark at all, Derrick. He was taking notes back there while you and Shacora was speaking. And now when I speak, he starts barking. It's like, he's probably telling me, shut up, put them back on. But what I liked is Shacora said, hey, I'm not I'm not gaslighting anyone. I'm going to tell the truth. This is exactly how I was. This is what happened. This is why Derrick is so amazing. And now I'm back. That's the way you want to talk to people. Don't talk to people with fake nonsense and the pretty thing and only show the Instagram perfection. That's BS. That's why I think Instagram is garbage, is that everyone shows their perfect face and then you live your crappy, your life that has your ups and downs. And then you compare yourself to the perfection on Instagram. No. Compare yourself to the dirt and grime that life is all about. And Shacora did a great job, presenting that to all of us. And Derrick, I just want to say thank you so much, man. You and Shacora, what a beautiful couple you are. And more than the way you look is just the heart that you both have. And we really appreciate the investment into the dog pound hierarchy, which you are a part of, right? But I want to say this: we're going to open it up for questions. We're going to go maybe 10 minutes over. Hell, I'd like to go 10 hours over. All right, but let's go. Just go ahead and unmute when you have a question, and let's let it rip.
Coach, first and foremost, congratulations. Thank you for coming on, blessing us with those words, you and your wife. My question is simply, when did you know, like, this what I'm gonna do? This is it.
You saying that to me?
Yes, sir.
Derrick, like you asked me, like, when did I know?
Yes, sir.
Oh, well, listen, for me, I'm different. I knew immediately. Right, I did. I'm a little different. I don't encourage this for everybody, but you gotta understand what happened before, right? So I'll tell you at the beginning of my story. I was grown and didn't know I was grown to do what Primerica was. Because here's a couple of things. I'm a military brat, right? So we traveled every 2 years. We moved every 2 years. So I met different people all the time. There was nothing for me to make friends. I worked in retail for 15 years, which you guys didn't know. So in corporate America and retail, you deal with everybody, right? And you deal with customer service. So I always had all those skills. I was a high corporate guy. And then I was going, I understand retail's Christmas time, right? Guess what retail people have to do right now? They have no time. It is peak season. They are at work or you get fired, right? And then on top of that, I was in loss prevention. I locked up store managers. I did all the investigations. So during this time is when the most internal and external stuff happens. Guess who's at work for real? In and out of the state, so away from home during the time, right? And have to go, right? So I always wanted to be at home, my family, our growing family. I wanted to be a husband and a father, but my career for money, I had to make different decisions, right? And so I had to go do that. So then turns around, right? After all of that, my mom passes. And then I find out at this one meeting that my mom had the wrong type of insurance and we had to pay for it, right, out of our pocket. And then I find out that through Primerica, I can still make the income I was making, right, before and more, right? So, and if all I had to do was work, and then the other piece was I could have freedom. I could be with my family. I could go home every night, and we could take vacations. So when I saw all of that at a KT, and I had already, I knew what the other side looked like. I was like, why the heck not? Sign me. How much? 199 at the time. Done. Right? I'm signing up on the spot, and I went home because I was fired up about that. Because see, that's what I saw. Right? They did a great job presenting the KT. So I went home and I explained it to Shacora the best way I could. But of course, she didn't see it and she didn't understand. And honestly, at that time, I hadn't expressed what I was really trying to work back to. You know what I'm saying? I knew where I wanted my family to be, but me and her hadn't had that talk yet about I'm trying to get back to this, right? And then, you know, you got to understand women. She was just trying to get stability in her household. She wanted to make sure the bills and life was going to stay on, the kids going to be taken care of. She only wants stability, right? But I didn't just want stability. I wanted to live, right? And I think there was a song out there that said, most people alive not living. And I wanted to live, right? So that's the answer. So I knew instantly, but a lot of people have to get there, right? Some people have to grow there and go through some different life experiences to get to that point, but that wasn't me.
Beautiful, Derrick, man, what a great answer. All right, who's got the next question?
Hey, Derrick, appreciate your time. Mark and Nubia, you guys are amazing. Thank you for, always bringing everybody that is amazing to our, training opportunities. So Derrick and Shacora, appreciate you guys' time. My question is, well, it's more of a two-part question. Did you guys get promoted before getting to Monroe, or did you guys get promoted to RVP in Monroe?
No, I got promoted before.
Okay,
Monroe.
cool.
I was promoted 2 years before I met the McNeils. Because of the McNeils and what we're building here. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I got promoted in 2018. And they came in 2019. Yeah. So my first year of rebuilding is when I met the McNeils, and then and because I was going back and forth to Monroe for a couple of years, just nothing prior to, but nobody ever wanted it as bad as Donna did. And when I met him, me and him locked arms, and it's history from there. And then Maurice, and then it just became this dynamic trio that and with all that, I looked him in the face one day, man, after we got the office open, and we went through a lot to get the office open, and I looked him in the face, and we had a meeting, and I said, guys, what would happen if we moved up here? Because they kept telling me to move up here, and we went through the pros and cons, because I got a big family. And when they told me, coach, there's no cons, we're gonna go do what we need to do, they're my red flag partner. We locked arms. We all looked at each other in the face and said, we're gonna do whatever it takes to take care of this office. Maurice, I got to give it off to the guy right now. Maurice started helping us guys, and complying or not, I'm going to be honest how dedicated everybody was. Don and Bree and Maurice started helping pay rent at an office before they were RVP. They took ownership early. I think 8 months in, 5 months in for Don and Bree, and 5 months in for Reese, and 8 months in for Don and Bree. They took ownership early. Start paying bills, helping us do that. And then so with that kind of dedication, that kind of focus, it made it where I had to come and move and lock arms and help, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to build something special. You just could feel it, And so I take my hat off to Wheel Monroe for all they do, and especially the leaders that helped start it.
Absolutely. Follow-up question to that. What was that year regarding your schedule, commitment, work ethic? What was your guys' activity to build it to that point to where you can attract some leaders like you guys did with Don and Bree and Maurice?
Yeah, so it really was a full-time whatever it needed to be. We didn't have a schedule, you guys. And still today, Primerica is what we do. We're not doing, listen, I'm telling you, we love Primerica. We don't do real estate. We're not doing no other stuff. We don't have any other activity. I'm not knocking any of those things. We are Primerica. So all day, all night, early morning, late night, it is Primerica. All like we are so sold out and so dedicated to so there was no schedule. It was like when Miguel came out with that jar situation, it was I think Donna Bree, we had won a company trip, we came home and we heard the speakers. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. We heard those speakers and we saw everybody up there, heard what they were doing. I heard it one way, Donna heard it another way, Maurice didn't heard another way. When we got back home to Monroe, we had a meeting. And we looked at each other. I said, guys, did y'all hear that? And they said, Coach, I think I know what you're talking about. Don was like, Derrick, Coach, did you hear that? And I was like, what? He was like, man, they're not better than us. I said, exactly. I said, nobody's better than us. Miguel said it. They're just outworking us. And at this point, nobody's going to outwork us. And so what happened was we all got jars and we said, we're not going home unless we get something done every day. You know, and according to that, you know, we did the jar thing and then we exploded, right? COVID happened, but we didn't care. We found a way, made a way, right? And so I know that's kind of an overall answer, but I want you to hear commitment. We were committed to whatever schedule it took. Listen, I was doing a in-person appointment 2 hours away from my home at midnight at a Whataburger. We don't care about the schedule. If you're going to show up to the appointment, we're doing. So that was our schedule. Great question, though, but that's the truth.
Thank you.
Great job, Noel. All right, who has another question? Great answer.
So, Shacora, my name's Karen, and I've been in the business for probably about a month. I haven't got my license yet, but you mentioned something that kind of really resonated with me, and I hope that maybe you could expound a little bit. You said, I realized I had something to offer. So could you tell us a little bit more about that and what made that click for you, that motivated you?
Yeah, so everybody has their strengths. Okay, so mine wasn't necessarily the KT. I knew that wasn't my strength. Prospecting, that was kind of uncomfortable. So I was like, okay, but what am I naturally good at? I've always been a phenomenal student. I'm gonna just pat myself on the back for a second, you know. So I've always gotten good grades. Studying has always come easy for me, you know. So I was like, okay, this is something that I'm good at naturally. Can it translate into the business? And it could, you know. So that was when I figured out, hey, this is my area. And I talked to Derrick about it. And I mean, I've done several things in the business. So we've had conversations and it's been like, what do you need from me? You know, and sometimes it was back office. Sometimes it was just hold down the home front. Sometimes it was, hey, you know, I just need you to talk to this person, you know, so it came in different ways, you know, so I played many roles in the business, but I didn't feel like it was my niche, you know, because that's not the area that I was strongest in. But when I started playing to my strengths, that's when I realized, hey, I can be really good at this, you know? And so, yeah, that's kind of how I fumbled my way through. Initially, it was, what does the business need? And then it migrated onto what can I offer well, you know? So sometimes we have to play a role that we don't necessarily love. Nobody loves back office, you know? I mean, maybe a few people out there do. There's some teens out there that are just like, oh yeah, that's my jam. But, you know, but it was something that needed to be done. So you do what you need to do until you can kind of do what you want to do.
I love that answer. You got to
Okay.
do what you need to do until you get to do what you want to do. What a great answer, Shacora. All right, beautiful, beautiful question too, Karen. All right, next one. Who's got another one? We got time for like 3 or 4.
I'll go Mark Terrence Robinson, Dog Pound.
All right, my man, go for it.
Louisiana in the house. Just want y'all to know. I have a question for both of you. So starting off, there are a lot of new agents on here, and I have amazing coaches that work with me. What keeps you from choking your family out closest to you when they seem like they don't want to support you from the start?
I'm sorry. Hey, I love it. That's absolutely that's absolutely the right question. Hey, listen, it happens. Listen, it does. Hey, so I'm gonna try my best to help you real quick. What level are you in the business right now, Terrence?
I am a future RVP. I am a district leader right now.
Perfect. And I was hoping you was gonna say that, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you what was told to me, and actually, God told me, really told. God got this in prayer when I was a district leader, legitimately. Okay, so none of my family till this day, as much success as we have, is my client.
His family or mine?
Let it go. Right? Because listen, we're going to be MDEs this year. We make over 400. We make about $20,000-$30,000 a month, and my family know it. And listen, I didn't have a bad reputation. I was a corporate guy. Right? So it's not like I messed up family relationships. We're good. But sometimes they're just not going to do it. They're just not, right? You want them to, right? But here's the thing. When they come back, right? I got some friends and some people that's come back now and got policies from me, got some investments, got some different things going on. You'll get double for your trouble. That's what God told me. He said you're going to get double. You're going to get the blessing of the double. What do I mean by that, right? So the blessing of the double sounds like this. So right now you're a district and you would get paid 50% on that particular, let's use life insurance, right? But you just told me you're a future RVP. So when you go RVP, then your family gonna believe it. They gonna see the need. Something's gonna happen. God forbid, right? Their mindset gonna change. Life gonna change, and then they're gonna come to you and say, "Man, I need life insurance. Man, I need this investment. Man, I want to start joining the business." And guess what's gonna happen? When you write a life insurance policy, you're writing on a 110% contract. God's the God of overflow. He gonna give you the extra tip for your pain and suffering. So look, don't worry about it right now. Go win, let it go. Go build with who's gonna listen to you, win in spite of, and then it's gonna come back to you, my man.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that.
Oh my God, Derrick, that was the answer of the night. Come on. Are you serious? That was the best answer I have ever heard to that particular question. And I've been around for 3 decades. Okay, so phenomenal. That was awesome. That was incredible. All right, who's next?
That's crazy that he asked that question, because that was the same question that I was going to ask, but I'm not as high as him. I'm still slowly trying to get in. I'm still starting. I'm new to the business.
Okay. Well, Tiffany, listen, all you gotta do is be extremely coachable. See, here's one thing about this business that's phenomenal, Tiffany, right? You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be the perfect person, right? You don't have to be the perfect business writer and be the number one person right now. All you have to do is follow your coach, right? Because here, I know in school, they put you out when they say, if you copy, right? If you copy in school, you get kicked out of school, right?
Right.
Here, you copy, you become successful. So find your coach, do exactly what they tell you to do, keep doing it, right? It will take hold, it will work, and you will win. That's just how it works, right? Learn your skills, do the things you need to do, and eventually it's going to work out for you. So right now, just be coachable, and then you'll be there.
I appreciate
Love
that.
it.
Thank you.
Love it, Derrick. Love it. And we've got a couple people. We're going to do 2 more questions. Raina has her hand up. Raina, go ahead.
Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Oh, crap. Oh, awesome. Thank you so much, Derrick and Shacora, for, coming to speak to us. I really appreciate it. So follow-up question to like the market, and not being, your family not being supportive. So if your family, either of you guys' families were supportive, how did you build your business? Like, where did you start from? Who did you talk to? Who did you recruit? So give us a little bit of insight, because we have a few people where, their market's not out there. So it'll be great, because they hear from us, but it'll be awesome that you guys, are $400,000 earners in Primerica and kicking butt. So how did you build your business?
Absolutely, right. So watch this, guys. There's only two things this boils down to. There's two things this boils down to. I'll make this very simple. It's skill or will. See, skills can be taught. Right? Can everybody learn skills? Right? Are we on here telling you different skills? I mean, I know Mark, right? I know you guys, right? So you guys are giving great skills. The dog pound been running Arizona for a very long time, right? So the skills are there. So first thing you got to identify, it's not about your market. It's about, what do you want? Do you think you're supposed to be here? Is this what you want to do? If you can answer that question to yourself, now all you have to do is get better at whatever it is you need to get better at. So let's work on skills first. So do you know how to prospect? Because if you don't know how to prospect, well, you're not going to build your team now, right? You don't need to film. All you got to do is learn how to prospect. I built my business on cold market, but they're my closest friends and family now. I didn't know anybody, right? I told you, y'all saw my presentation in the beginning. None of my family came and joined on. My church friends didn't do it. But I have one of the biggest hires. Well, I have the biggest hierarchy outside of Bill Widow, pretty much, in College Temple down here in Louisiana, right? How is that possible? Prospecting, right? So I started prospecting whoever would listen. And I gave presentations and I sought help. But guess what? I mastered prospecting. I mastered the art of giving a KT, right? I knew how to call my list. I knew how to build a list. I knew how to get people off to a fast start. I knew how to do all those different things. So I mastered my skills. And once I mastered my skills, now it's a will issue. Are you willing to study to get your licenses? Are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to prospect? Are you willing to talk to people? See, if you're not willing to do that, well, we lose. Because we can teach you all the skills in the world, but if you're not willing to apply them, you have to do that. Nobody else can motivate you for that, right? So now change your will, go learn, and then look, apply what you learn. And even if you fail forward, because now you know where you can get better at, right? Go prospect 3-4 people, find out what happened, right? It didn't work out. Go back to your coach and say, Coach, this is what I said. And then allow them to correct what you did. You go back and try it again and get better. Now today you got 2 names and numbers. Great. Now watch, if you get 2 names and numbers, you could build a business. You know why? 2 names and numbers a day is 14 a week, right? If you sit up there and you call those 14, you'll get at least 7, 8 appointments scheduled with the right verbiage, right? You could do 5 appointments because somebody's not going to show up. You're going to get 3 sales. You're going to get 1 recruit. You're going to help them build a list. They got 25 names and numbers. Now you're in the warm market. If you do that for a full month, guys, you'll be on 60, 70 appointments, 4 or 5 people on your team that got lists. Now you got a list of a couple hundred people because they're not your people. It's not who you know. Y'all heard this before, right? It's who they know. Go recruit some people, help them build a team, and now your team gets bigger. You don't need your family. You just need some willpower.
Love it, Derrick. Absolutely love it. And we're going to end it with this, last question. An RVP texted me and she's got the ring. They've got the ring. But they, life happens, things happen. So they wanted to know, if you're starting over, kind of like starting from scratch, what would be your daily activity and your weekly activity? Like, what would be your process to rebuild? Let's just assume you're moving to a new city.
This is my favorite thing to talk about. So it's a great way to end. I kind of touched on it. So let's just say I'm in Arizona right now. I want to be in Arizona. Trust me, I want to be in Arizona with you guys. I love Arizona, right? But no, I'm in Monroe right now, right? But if you drop me off in, I don't know, a hotel, give me enough money for a hotel in Texas somewhere that I don't know anymore, right? And I can build a 20 by 20 base shop in the course of a month or 2. That's something, huh? I can, right? Because here's how you do it. Y'all ready? Let's go. So remember I told y'all get 2 names and numbers a day, right? Somebody get your calculator out. Let's go. I'm gonna show y'all this. Y'all need to see this. I need y'all to type this in the chat. Monroe, somebody, calculators up, right? So I need these numbers popped up in front of me. Hold the numbers. Make sure you see the numbers, right? So watch this. If you get 2 names and numbers a day, so I'm assuming you mastered your skills. That's this call already presets that you already know that, right? So now you get 2 names and numbers a day personally, right? The goal is to be consistent. So now you get 2 names and numbers a day. Now what I told you, 14 is in a week, right? You got 7, let's go half. So now you said what? Let's call it 7 appointments the following week, right? Out of those 7 appointments, say you get what? Your skill levels average, right? So let's just say you close 3 sales out of those 7 and 1 recruit. Guess what, you guys? I made enough money to pay my next week hotel bill. And I'm sitting in the hotel doing all my appointments because nobody know I'm homeless right now. Y'all with me, right? But I recruited 1 person. I'm going to do a fast start planner with that 1 person who knows a lot of people in my area. They make a list of 25 to 100 people. Call it 25 for the numbers. So now I have 25 names and numbers for my new recruit, right? And I'm still going to get my 2 names and numbers a week. So I'm on week 2, right? Week 2, I did another 14 names and numbers plus 25, right? Y'all with me? 14 to 25. Y'all put it in the chat. Y'all count with me? Who count with me? Y'all got 39 in the chat. 39, right? So I got 39 phone calls to make. 39 phone calls to make. I'm on my 2nd week. I make these phone calls. Guess how many? What's half of 39? Call it. Let's round it up to 40. So that's 20 appointments on my 3rd week. I set 20 appointments. Say I only do 10. And I close 5. And I get 2 more recruits. So how many sales I got so far? 8 sales, right? I'm an 8 sales personal. And I got 3 direct recruits. Guess what I'm gonna do with the next 2 recruits? They got 25 name lists. That's another 50 names and numbers on top of the ones I didn't get last week, plus my 14 new names and numbers that I get every day because I'm gonna stay consistent. Are y'all with me? Now I'm getting to the point. Y'all said it's working. Now in the 1st month, I'm getting so busy because what my man Noel said, right? Well, my schedule, I'm working Primerica. Guess what I'm not doing? I'm not taking breaks. I'm not doing nothing else. I'm not doing nothing. I am getting my names and numbers today. I'm calling them. I'm booking appointments. I'm doing appointments. I'm doing income producing activity every single day because I can't stay in a hotel next month. Before this month is over, I'm going to give me an apartment. And I'm buying me some new clothes. Even if I have to go to the Goodwill, I'm gonna have suits on, right? Watch. I'm gonna earn my way. You can Primerica is so amazing. You can do this, right? And if you get 2 names and numbers a day before the month is over, you'll be doing almost 40 appointments a week. You're doing at least 20 of those that week. Hey, you know what it takes to do a Go RVP, guys? At least 20 appointments a week. You can get there within a month. You can have a team built. And then now while you're doing that, you're training on those are field training appointments, aren't they? Y'all with me? Aren't those appointments because we did them from their list? Aren't we field training? So somebody's getting licensed here. Somebody's getting bit by the bug of Primerica. Somebody's doing the work too. And now you got yourself somebody else that's going to go do what you know how to do. So now you're not doing it by yourself. Now you're overriding and you get numbers, right? Because they're doing it. And you keep that process going because you have the skills to pay the bills and you have the will to do it. This business is not hard. Master what you need to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I told the team this a while back. I said the biggest gap in most people's business is knowing what they need to do and doing it. Somewhere in between there, we get lost. That's it.
Derrick, that's so true, man. You're absolutely right, Derrick. And I want to say, first off, Derrick, finish your point. I kind of cut you off there.
Oh, I did. I said you can win. You just got to do it.
Absolutely.
As Art said, just do it.
Man, Derrick, I want to say to you and Shacora, thank you so much for everything that you've done, on this call tonight, our relationship over the last year and a half, and I do want to throw a shout out real quick. I wrote all this down, so I'm going to maybe butcher some names, but I want to throw a shout out to all the 13 RVPs that you guys have developed down there in Monroe. I mean, we're so proud of your team down there. And you got, obviously, Derrick and Shacora, you got Donald and Bree McNeil. You've got Maurice Nelson, which they mentioned. Now you got Marilyn Gibson, Cliff and Bella Afong, Terry Pruitt, Deonta Thompson, Colin Smith, Antonio and Tamika Evans, Rosina and Daniel Jola, Keitha, Kendre, and there's Keitha twice. I think I wrote it down twice. All right, so Keitha went RVP twice. But did I miss anyone, Derrick?
Yeah, Maryland, and Torian Gibson. They're a couple in Prime American team right there, and then you have the newer promoted. You got KJ and Nippa Johnson, and you have Lakita Robinson, Richardson. Excuse me, Lakita Richardson in my head, right? And then you have Kelvin and Shamika Gatewood, who just got promoted this past month as well. And let's see here. You went through the list, but I think that's everybody. Hey, RVPs, if you're on here and I missed somebody, please type it in the chat for me, because I didn't catch the whole list, but it sounded like that was everybody.
Man, you got to send me that list, then, Derrick. You know, with the hey, this thing's about to 212 right here, and so you know, I want to close it out with this. You know, first off, again, I want to say thank you again to Derrick and Shacora. You guys just tore it up. We recorded this, so I will send this to you. I'll send you the link to it so you guys can have it. But to the Dog Pound Empire, which all of us are a part of on this call, man, it's time. It's time. 2022 was a phenomenal year, but 2023 is the year we make that leap back to a $100,000 base to a $200,000 hierarchy through first. And we're going SNSD. We're going to get that $1 million ring. And it's time. This empire, you know, Derrick, we're going to talk a lot more, man, you know, privately, because I've got some ideas that I think you're going to really enjoy, you and Shacora. But it's time to do something spectacular. So listen, if you got something out of this call, you know, post it on social media. You know, take a picture of this call right now, post it. You know, give Derrick and Shacora some love out there. They deserve it. We love you guys. God bless you all. Have a great week. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's go change the world. God bless y'all.
Thank y'all.